Hello everybody, Dan here. It is Thursday, July 11th. I just got in from being at Catalina on the Gale Force, and in about 10 minutes we will have Captain Bill with us, captain boat owner of the Malihini and also the Horizon. Talk about our upcoming trip together. So looking forward to that. We will be fishing with him on the 25th of this month. July 25th, we'll be on the Malihini, fishing with Captain Bill, heading offshore looking for tuna, yellowtail, stuff like that. Hey, Alan, how you doing? My mom's doing much better. Her and my dad were out on the boat yesterday, hanging out, just resting. And my dad's having some work done on his Duffy, put a new cover on it, so they hung out there yesterday. We just got in right now from the Gale Force trip, and really good fishing, lots of calicos. It was a lot of fun. But Captain Bill is going to be on with us in about 10 minutes. So we'll be here to talk about that. Looking forward to fishing with him real soon here. It's always fun to fish with him. So today we did good on the Gale Force. Let me see, show you some pictures here in a little bit. Kevin even caught a really nice big bass today. Almost got jackpot with it. Hello, Steve. Hello, Daniel, Chris. So yeah, we had good fishing today at Catalina. Here's Kevin's calico from today. Let's see if I can make it smaller so you guys can see it. Nice sized calico bass there. Really good fishing, like I said. I got a couple of nice ones today. This was the first one I got today. No, it's not a 20-pounder, but it is a good one. Nice big fish. I also got one, got a couple this way. On a bucktail with a piece of squid. So it was really good bass fishing, really good fishing. Um, Pretty much everybody got their limits of bass. Good quality, beautiful weather. It was fun. And we even had a celebrity today with us. Let's see if it pops up here. There's Rocky. And he fished with us on the Gale Force and invited a bunch of his friends out. So it was good. It's nice that like he's willing to do both the private charters with me and also come fish with my viewers and come out and do all that. I greatly appreciate that. So that's Rocky with his He got 2 calicos about that size today. That was the first one. Nice size fish. All right. Here's a short little slideshow from this week. I've been on the Gale Force 3 times. All right. Did the meet and greet. I did another one that was a charter that the people hired me to go on the boat with them. And this is a combination of those 2 trips. So on the last trip I was on 2 days ago, we had 22 people on the boat, and 12 to 15 of them were chefs and restaurant owners, and the other ones were staff members from the restaurants. And it was funny. I'd never been on a boat when somebody would yell out "chef" and half the boat would turn around. And then that other video thing that was the little picture, the first one, was 2 of the chefs were taking the live squid, filleting them out, and they were eating them on the way out to fishing grounds. That was kind of funny. And then here's some private charters I've had this month already. Already had 2 or 3. Here's a few just a few pictures from that. The barracuda is good if you eat it soon. I wouldn't freeze it and leave it around for months, but if you eat it in a week or so, it's normally good. I haven't had any problems with it. So Captain Bill is going to be on here in a second, in about 3 minutes, to join us. And we're going to be talking about our trip with him coming up on the 25th. So hopefully some of you can join me on that trip and hear how his boats are doing, how the Horizon and the Malahini's doing there. Hey Brad, how you doing? Brad was with us today. Kevin was with us today. Yeah, Aaron, it's just another reason to come fish with us. Join us in San Diego on the 25th. It'll be a lot better weather. John says he smokes his kudas. Kudas. Hey, Tamara, you got here early. You're normally not here this early. Thanks for joining in. Like I said, Captain Bill will be here soon. So you guys get your questions ready for him. It should be awesome time to come fish with us. And in case you didn't know, we have these shirts available now on our website. This one's filthy because I wore it today fishing, but we have them. And we have the new hats, like this one here. You can find these on our website. So support us, get our gear. We would greatly appreciate it. Oh, Tamara's in Montana. That's cool. John, one of my camera guys, was up in Montana right now too. Or maybe he's in Seattle. He went to Montana with a friend and they were going to fly to Seattle and then back to Montana. And then he's going to drive to Denver. That's the only reason he wasn't with us today filming. So he's doing that. So Chris is going to be with us next month. That's good. All right, guys. So get your questions ready. Captain Bill's going to be here any minute now. About 7:15, we said we'd have him on. So about one more minute here. So there he is. All right, guys. Here is Captain Bill. There's Captain Bill.
What's up, mister?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Like you, just got off the water.
Oh, yeah, it's been a fun day. We did maintenance today.
You guys did maintenance today?
Oh, yeah, always exciting.
Which boat? Both of them or just one of them?
I was on the Malahini today.
Okay.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Pretty good. We had really good bass fishing today at Catalina. It was a few barracuda mixed in. We saw a few yellowtail pop up on the surface. Nothing really bit. Just plenty of calico bass, bunch of limits. So it was fun.
Right.
So
Right on.
Brad's saying hello to you. Tamira's saying hello to you.
Hi, everybody.
Terry's here. She's saying hello to you.
Hello. I can't see anybody's name.
It's all. I don't know if you can see the comments there.
I can't.
Maybe
That's all right.
maybe you need to bring another screen on. Split your screen so you can see the broadcast. But I don't know what the delay would be on that.
No, I'm not going to worry about it.
So what's going on down there on your boats? Give us a little update. What's going on fishing wise, tackle wise? Has the season
The
kicked
Malahini
off
has
yet?
been the Malahini has switched to a 3/4 day schedule, unless we are chartered, and we are fishing anywhere from La Jolla down to the Mexican border. You know, with the influx of bass biting and spawning and stuff, it has been very, very, very good, which has been amazing to me. We've the the climate's been weird in the sense that, you know, we'll run 2 3 days, have good fish counts, and we'll sit 3 days. Then we'll run 4 days, we'll sit 3 days, which is, I mean, it's fine. I understand it. You know, it's tough. You know, you look at the economy, and you know, everyone has basically, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, has spent their stimulus money and stuff. So, you know, the price of food has increased 7 to 8%, 10% some places over last year. The price of fuel has started going back up again. You know, am I going to put food on my table to feed my kids, or am I going to go fishing today? I think I'm going to feed my children, take care of my responsibilities there. And I call it discretionary spending. It is what it is.
So are there a lot of boats tied up at the docks these days?
Some boats are running more than others. Everybody is, in search of that elusive bluefin that is not on a regular biting schedule. And some days it's really good and it'll bite for a day or 2 days, and guys turn in scores. And the next week, okay, it doesn't bite. What are you going to do? Go fishing.
Yeah.
I think, you know, in that respect, we leave Friday night on the horizon on a day and a half. That fish has moved uh, to 120 miles. You gonna get there on a day and a half? Yeah, it's definitely possible. But when you get there, it's daylight, so you miss the first night bite. The second day it gets dark. You have to leave by 9:30, 10 o'clock to get back home by 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning at 120 miles.
Yeah.
So I mean, and there's to the south there's kelp patty. It's starting to hold yellowtails and things like that. I think that's the direction we're probably going to go Friday. I think we have a better opportunity. I really believe that. You know, it's 50-50. You might stop on 900 kelps. You find the right one, you can do really well. If you don't, you put a day together. There's signs of Dorado up in Dana Point and all this other stuff that you're seeing, that you're hearing about as well. So I really believe we're probably going to wind up going south just because that bluefin for a day and a half trip is too far. But then again, I don't know. We might bite the bullet and drive up there. We may get lucky and find that school before we get there that wants to bite. That's what it's about.
Are the guys running south or are they running up to the Channel Islands? I've been
Oh,
hearing
they're
fish
fishing
everywhere.
west of San Clemente Island, between Nick and San Clemente, closer to Nick than Clemente.
So it's U.S. waters.
Yeah, it's U.S. waters. If you're on a 2-day trip that leaves at 10 o'clock in the morning, you stand a very good chance. You're on a 2.5-day trip, you stand a really good chance. You're on a 3-day trip, awesome. You're there the first day. If you leave the dock, if you're on a 2.5 day, you leave the dock at 7 p.m. the first day. You travel, by the time you get to the grounds, it's daylight. You've got all that day, that night, and half the next day, to get back home. So I mean, I would caution people that want to go bluefin fishing, if with how far the fish is now, your chances are better on a 2+ day trip. I'm not saying a 1.5 day you don't have an opportunity, but you do. There's that bluefin that's down on the 371 that's very sporadic biting. There's kelp patties for yellowtails and dorados and stuff like that. But if you're diehard bluefin fisherman and you want to go and try and catch a bluefin, I would strongly suggest a longer trip. I hate to say it like that, because that also in turn takes money out of my pocket. We have some 2.5 days on the schedule. We have a lot of 1.5 days.
Are you thinking about converting some of those to longer trips, or are you just going to see if the fish get closer?
They're going to get closer, and like I said, there's bluefin in 1.5 day range. It just is not biting as well as that stuff in that 2.5 to 3 day range is.
Yeah. And then what
You know
happens
that's
to the weather?
that's
We start seeing hurricanes coming up. Does that push the yellowfin up? Does that push skipjack?
I'm really hoping we have an influx of yellowfin this year. That would be very, very cool. Yellowfin and aku, or excuse me, skipjack. Aku is Hawaiian for skipjack. Something like that. That would be awesome, dude. I mean, it would help to break that monotony of fishing at night and just basically driving around the ocean all day looking for a kelp. You find a school of yellowfin tuna that want to bite. They'll get busy. Everybody's happy, and we come back with a full boat. I will be on the horizon for the foreseeable future. I do believe as well, at least for the next 10 to 15 trips. It it's just going to work out that way. I've got Mike Zayak Jr. coming down, who is going to run the Malihini, which is going to be awesome. I think you guys will dig him. I think I'm there for your trip though, because I do believe it's before we leave on that our next day and a half or something.
Cool. Yeah, but everybody would love to fish with you if you could be on the boat.
Agreed. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. I know I'll be on the trip on the horizon. That I know for a fact.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not till September.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll try and make it happen.
Yeah, we still have about 12 spots to fill for the Malihini trip, so that's why I wanted to have you on here. And uh, are you thinking we're going to probably look for kelp patties that day?
We're gonna go kelp patty fishing. Most
Right.
definitely. I don't see why not. I mean, with what I've heard and what I've seen, I believe we stand just as good of a chance as anybody else out there of finding that right kelp and loading up. There was limits caught by one boat 2 days ago, yellowtail, that 12 to 20 pound stuff. I think they had a bluefin and some bonita. There's another boat I think had limits of yellowtail and 6 bluefin for his trip. So I mean, it's not impossible. You know what I mean?
No,
Nothing is impossible.
and we still have
We
2 weeks.
control, huh?
We have 2 whole weeks before our trip.
Yeah, dude. I can control, and I say this and I say this over and over again. I can control 3 things on that boat. I can control the fact of where the boat fishes. I can control the fact that myself and my crew, whether I'm running the boat or not, are going to be respectful, presentable, and treat you like family. And I feel my biggest job, or the operator's biggest job, is to make sure that boat is in the best possible position for us to take shots at the opportunities given to us. If I could make the fish bite, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Because I mean, the boats would be sold out every day. I can't make them bite. I give it my all to make sure that those 3 things do happen though.
I agree with you. I was going to ask you, where did that happen? Okay. So, a couple of questions. Alan's asking the bluefin bite being so ficky right now.
Is
And
that Alan rushing?
yes, when it comes with his boys all the time with him.
Tell him he needs to book a trip by himself because I don't believe the other guy and I are doing business anymore
Okay.
for whatever reason. I don't know.
So he's asking, are the bluefin being so finicky because it's bait, water temperature? What they just don't choose to play? What do you think? Why they're only nighttime and not on the surface during the day?
All the above. All the above. I honestly don't know. They decide they want to eat, they eat. They don't, they don't. I mean, do I believe there's a science to it? Not really. I think it's just like anybody else. You, me, Alan, or anybody else. We're hungry, we go get something to eat. We're not hungry. kind of just mill around. You know what I mean?
No, I understand that. Yeah, fishing is fishing. You never know what's going to happen. You just got,
Exactly.
you got to go out there and
That's why
just
it's
do
called,
it.
that's why it's called fishing and not catching.
Yeah, I just get frustrated with the way fishing, the way the general public is now about fishing, where unless they see massive fish counts, they don't want to go. And I tried to explain to younger people when I was a kid, which I'm not anymore. Uh, we chartered our boats a year ahead of time because,
Yeah,
and you like we would charter the producer and all those boats way back in the 80s and early 90s, and you
right.
booked your boat a year ahead of time. And if there was tuna, you went tuna fishing. If there's no tuna, you spent the day at the Coronados, and the price didn't change. That was what you paid for. That was the best fishing that day. And now it seems like if they don't see it on Instagram instantly or see massive fish counts on the internet, they just stay home. It's just, I wish people would understand that going fishing isn't about catching fish, but being on the
No,
water.
it's honestly, to me, growing up as a kid, growing up, when I would go to a pier with my grandmother and climb underneath Santa Monica Pier, I was exploring, having the best time of my life, catching big, gigantic buttermouth perch, you know, taking the mussel gaff underneath the pier, grabbing it to the pylon, pulling the mussels up, cutting them open, putting, my on my mussel on my hook, dropping it down with a hand line. Remember those yellow and green? The yellow had they were square. They were yellow and had the green line wrapped around it like that. Yeah, fishing with one of them. I had tied a 3/4 ounce sinker, egg sinker, in a loop, knotted it to the line, and dropped it right next to the pylon. Dropped it down. Oh, that been you're pulling it up. Oh, so that dude, that was my best life in that sense as a kid fishing. I think that's what the fact that my grandmother took me fishing. The first couple times I didn't catch anything. I was like, oh, this is boring. And the first time I caught a Corbina on Venice Pier, it was probably that big.
Mhm,
But I was hooked after that.
mhm.
Next thing you know, we're catching 10, 12, 14, 15, 16 pound Corvina, in the surf right there. Oh, it was so much fun, dude. It was like, I got to do this again. Can we go again? Can we go again? And she was like, yeah, we'd go fish it again. I mean, it worked out to where we were doing it every summer, dude. Every summer,
Yeah, so
every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Chuck McDonald has a funny comment here. He says that he looks at fishing as a cover charge to go drink some beers, smoke a cigar, meet new people, and occasionally he gets to come home with dinner.
You know, I remember I remember when I was a kid, my dad and my uncle used to take me to Lake Miramar and Lake Poway and Lake Skinner and San Vicente before they shut it down and opened it up again. And I really didn't like lake fishing at all because to me, it was we'd get into a boat, we'd go out somewhere, we would drop this big cement thing in the water, and I'd sit there and play bear boy all day. It was funny. It was cool, catch a catfish every now and then, something like that. There was, and it was cool hanging out with my dad and my uncle. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed that immensely. But I mean, lake fishing to me was boring. Fishing off the pier with my grandmother and then getting introduced, uh, to the half day boat out of Santa Monica kind of changed. I know once I started fishing on the half day boat, I never fished on the pier again until I got older and had kids. And then I would take my daughter and my son to Shelter Island, and we'd sit there from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning catching mackerel and
Mhm.
whatever else. came along, sand bass occasionally, but to see them light up and look in the eyeballs and stuff. And then when I started working on boats, I remember them coming out on an overnight trip, and they got deathly seasick, and they slept all day.
So real time fishing has a comment. He says that he feels bad for the guy that's grumpy if he doesn't catch anything, that they act like a spoiled child, and that they should understand that just being outside is a blessing.
God has allowed, I agree with that 100%. God has allowed me to do some pretty remarkable things in my life. There are two places on this planet that I am at ease. One is in the arms of my lovely wife, and the other one is out there on that Pacific Ocean. I make no excuses for catching fish. I make no excuses for not catching fish. I would allude to what I said before when we first started this. I believe myself and my crew will give you 100% of what we got and then some,
Right.
to ensure that we're in the best place possible for us to take shots at the opportunities given. If the fish are going to bite, they're going to bite. If they're not going to bite, they're not going to bite. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it.
So the Fibbers Fishing Club is on here. They said to say hello to you, that their club loves you.
Hey
And
guys!
Jamie is on here. He wants to say thank you for being on live today.
Oh, you're welcome, Jamie. It's nice to hear your voice, brother. Talk to you.
Yeah, Jamie Agent's fished with us for a while. One of his good friends loved fishing on your boat, Paul, and he passed away earlier this
Yeah,
year.
yeah, I know, I
Paul,
know, I know. He was a really close friend of mine.
yeah, Paul loved fishing with you.
Dude, there's been a lot of death this year. There's been a lot of death this year.
Yep.
You know, Frank Brenna, who owned the producer, passed away. Paul, who used to fish with me on Phil Friedman's thingamajiggies.
Hmm.
Uh,
We
Mike
lost,
Keating.
right. As I said,
Mike
we
passed
lost
away
for
here.
last week.
Huh?
Yeah, we lost Mike Keating recently.
Yeah. My son passed away June 2nd. My cook, Dora, was in a tragic car accident 3 weeks ago. It's just been a lot of death, man. It's been a lot of death. And I'm, wow.
You had to deal with that with your son?
Yeah,
Wow.
my son passed away on June 2nd.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
I went back to Virginia for a my granddaughter's high school graduation, and he passed away that evening after her graduation.
Wow.
I don't want to go into detail, but he had a heart attack, but yeah,
Mm.
that sucked, man. You know, I spent a lot of time trying to figure it out, bro. You know, I have no answers for it. I have none whatsoever.
Well, I think guys like Jamie and his other friend are going to come on the trip with us on the 25th.
Amen.
Dan was talking about coming out because Dan and Paul would fish together a lot with Jamie, and he was talking about how much fishing with you meant to them. So he's looking forward to being
Amen.
with us on that trip.
So am I. It'll be fun. It's gonna be fun, man. You know what I mean? I've been numb. That's the easiest way to put it. You know, since my son's passing, it feels like a part of my soul's been ripped out. But you know, it's important to try and get back to some sort of normalcy in your life. And I really do believe that me fishing, which I've been doing, has kind of helped. I'm not going to say to fix my problem or anything like that, because that's never going to be fixed.
No,
Yeah, it's never going to be fixed, and
but it's your
to
happy place.
yeah, to try and tell myself that it's going to be all right. No, it's not. It's yeah, eventually it will, but it's not all right now. My wife has been very instrumental in pushing me to get back to doing things that I love. I'll be honest with you. I expected the world to stop when my son passed away. It's kind of unrealistic, but you know what I mean. I expected it to stop.
I can't even imagine the pain that's like. I'm
You
so,
know, my son was supposed to bury me, man, not me burying him. And I say that I'm gonna leave that at that.
well, we'll go have a good time on the 25th together.
Oh, most definitely. God is in charge. God has a plan, and I'm not questioning it. That's all I know.
That was the one thing I liked in that movie Rudy. I don't know if you ever seen it. And he's in the church talking to the priest, trying to get into Notre Dame, and he's on his
Uh,
last year of eligibility. And he's in the church talking to the priest, asking him, I did this and I did that, and what else do I need to do? And the priest turns to Rudy and says, I've learned two things being a priest for 40 years. There is a God, and number two, I'm not him. So you just
Amen.
do what you can do, move forward.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, but I'm good on that subject.
So I wonder if you're in the same position I'm in. I noticed just recently that the people that are closest to me, who I spend probably more time with, are people that I've known other than grade school and high school, are people that I've met fishing over the last 30, 40 years. That
I
the,
wouldn't doubt it.
those are the people that are still in my little circle.
I wouldn't doubt it. Well, I have four brothers. Four brothers. I have a lot of associates. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I have four people who I really believe that if I went to them and needed something, there's probably more, but four that I know for sure that would give me the shirt off their backs. Those are all the friends that I need. You know that movie? Give me three guys who will go to war with me, who will take over a city. I can't remember what movie that was in, but and that's the way we are with one another. You know what I mean? I can talk to them and they have no problem holding me accountable for me, and vice versa. It's cool, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
That saying,
I see
hold
these
your
guys more
close.
often than I see my actual brothers.
Huh?
I see these guys that I fish with and people that I met fishing 30, 40 years ago more often than I see my actual
Oh
brothers.
yeah, dude. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. Uh, let's take Jamie for instance. He and I have a relationship that when we see each other, it's like we talked to each other yesterday because we connect so much on Facebook. I look at Alan and his boys. I mean, they're like family to me and my wife.
Right.
You know what I mean? You, for instance, we don't talk a whole lot, but when we do talk, I feel really, really, really comfortable with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel the same way with you. I mean, I don't fish with anybody I don't want to spend the day with.
Come on now, I ain't got time for the pain. Well, that's kind of an oxymoron in our profession, bro. Because there's some people that get on the boat after they've gotten off the boat. Oh, I hope they don't come back.
No, but
I'm being totally honest. And those are typically those people that get on the boat grumpy, uh, act like anal cavities throughout the whole trip, then get off the boat grumpy
uh,
and mad because they didn't catch anything. Don't go to the seminar. You know what I mean? Don't
yeah,
go to the seminar. Talk to the guys who have been doing this for the past 3.5 weeks every day. You know what I mean? Get with them. They know what they're talking about. Let's go do this. Oh, I'm gonna troll a rubber chicken. Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. It's not gonna get bit. Well, I trolled it last week, and okay, do what you want to do, sir. I'm sorry. And then you have those people. I'll tell you a story. This is about 7 years ago. Fishing the Coronado Islands. I had 37 people on the boat who had their own gear, who knew everything. We gave a seminar. 2 people went to the seminar. Everybody else was too busy. First stop of the day, yellows blow up all around the boat. We dropped the pick. Drop the pick. I come down and grab my jig stick. I hang 3 right away. Okay, cool. Guys are sitting there looking at me. I'm like, what are you doing? Fly line a bait. Don't stand there. We wound up. They had a terrible time. They weren't listening. They were hard-headed. Didn't want to move their feet. Tangles left out. Just busting fish off left and right. Okay, whatever. Wound up with 37 fish that day. The following day, we went out with 51 people. It was a straight rent rod charter. Okay, straight rent rod charter. Find a school, throw some bait, it blows up. We set the pick. We wound up with 350 yellowtail. Our first stop was horrific, though. Our first shot of them was horrific. Oh my God. Bent the boat. Oh my God. Oh, what's going to happen? And we landed 5 out of 50, our first stop. Then they got with the program. We sat there and picked all day long. One with 350. If you listen to what's going on, follow the crew's directions. It's a crowded boat. Over, under. Let's go that way. You go this way. You go under. You go over the top. Okay, good. We're out of the tangle. They still got their fish. Amen. Gaff it, gaff it, gaff it, gaff it, gaff it, gaff it. Oh, it was fun, dude. I think I gaffed like 25 fish in a row. It was just fun. They're all high-fiving and talking about how good of a time they're having, and it just, oh man, that's why I do what I do. That's why I do what I do
mm-hmm.
for them folks.
Yeah, that's why I enjoy doing my private charters, because I only have 4 people to deal with, which makes it nice.
We
But
moved the Malihini can fish with 51 people. I don't want to fish with 51 people ever again. Max I'll do is 35 on our local trips. We're fishing the islands or something like that. It's 30, and that's it. Yeah, am I taking it in the shorts financially? Not really. Not really. I mean, yeah, okay, I'm losing 15 tickets. I'd rather lose 15 tickets and know everyone's name and have them come back than have 51 people every trip and them complaining about it being crowded and no place to do this and you can't do that and you can't barely move and this and one thing and the other. And that's just the way I am. That Horizon boat, it's got 36 bunks. I fish with no more than 27 on a day and a half. No more than 30 on an overnight. No more than 25 on a two-day or longer. I don't want to deal with it. I like to get to know the people that I fish with, and that's just who I am as an individual.
So before we run out of time, can you talk a little bit about fishing tackle that people should think about bringing on our trip in 2 weeks on the 25th for patty fishing?
I would say I'd bring a big boy just in case. You never know, that bluefin might show up. But my main gear, I'd say, uh,
You're gonna say like 3, 4 rods. What would you tell them to bring?
I'd have a 100-pound setup. I'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. That's a 100-pound Spectra, 100-pound mono or fluorocarbon top shot for use with a knife jig, 270 or heavy fishing, gram knife jig, a flat fall, something of that nature. I'd have a 50 to 60-pound setup for that sinker rig fish or something like that. And then I'd have me a 40-pound setup and a 20-pound setup. The 40-pound setup, it could be straight mono, that's fine. The 20-pound setup, straight mono, that's fine. So those are the 4 rods that I would bring. I would bring an assortment of hooks anywhere from, I'm going to say 2.0 to 5.0. 5.0 being for that sinker rig fish or something like that. Maybe even a number 1 as far as hooks. I'd have 2 or 3 torpedo sinkers, a 12, a 16, and a 24, depending on what the current's doing as you're dropping that sinker rig down, seeing how it's going to get away from the boat. And then I'd have me a straight 20-pound fly line setup. That 40 and 20-pound fly line setup you could use for anything.
Are
I
you
would.
are you real big on fluorocarbon, or do you just fish mainly straight mono?
If you want to use fluorocarbon, by all means do so. I'm no one way, not one way or the other. It has its purposes, I believe, at some point in time, but I don't think it serves a purpose fishing at night.
But that's for sure.
I don't believe if that tuna is down 300-400 feet, I don't think it serves a purpose then either.
So you need to. I know you can't see the comments, but Real Time Fishing has a great line here. He says, "The more you know, the more you, the more you know, the more you realize how little you really know. Be humble, sit down, listen, and learn."
Amen. Amen. I mean, and it's key. I mean, back to that again. We're out there every day. Guys are out there every day. They know what happened yesterday. And sometimes I'm gonna be totally honest with you. A lot of people look at fish counts.
Way too many
I
people.
I don't believe fish counts are a good indication of how a trip went. You follow what I'm saying, Dan?
Yeah, no. You should learn
I mean,
every
to give
day.
you an example, 2 years ago, we're on the 425. We bend the boat. No joke. We bend the boat 30 people 4 times. We landed 4 fish for our day.
And fish are too big, or what?
Oh, they
People
were 100,
old.
180 to 240-pound bluefin.
Yeah.
I was pissed. I was mad. I come out the wheelhouse and get ready to ream them after the second stop. And I'm looking at them, and that changed my perspective on my job, dude. I looked at them, and they're all high fiving. Oh, dude, did you see that? Did you feel that? That was awesome. And I'm kind of looking at them like, yeah, but you guys sure didn't blow a lot. You know what I mean? I'm like, God, you guys are screwing my fish count up. But it didn't matter. the look on these guys' face and how they were the rest of the day, I didn't care if we caught anything. I mean, in that sense, you know what I mean? They got their hookups, they got their adrenaline rush, and before we landed, we landed 214, we landed 202, 180, and a 165 landed.
Mm-hmm.
Went out there the next day. I think we got 19 out of 34. But I mean, it is what it is.
You know the saying, the tug is the drug.
Yes, sir. I enjoy taking people fishing.
Yeah.
I enjoy catching fish, yeah, but sometimes it just don't happen.
And I can't tell you how many times the best bite I went on the day before, nothing was caught.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I had a
yeah.
day with Dennis Luckenbach back in the day in the 1990, 1989, something like that. Maybe earlier than that, 1985. We left Redondo, went all the way to Clemente, didn't get there till 1 o'clock because he waited for the live bait to get fresh live bait. And we got 115 bluefin tuna. They were small, 12 to 20 pounds. But
Right,
nobody,
right.
those are the days when we're happy just catching calico bass. But to catch
Dude, I mean,
120 tuna,
I have a 3.5 day charter coming up. I think it's August 9th through the 14th or something like that. And the guy told me point blank, I don't want to go bluefin fishing. Okay, what do you want to do? Because I just want to catch a bunch of fish. Okay, so we'll go to Nick the first day. Then we'll fish Clemente. And then the last night, we'll try and catch a bluefin. If that worked for you, that would be awesome. It's like, really? Oh, made my day. You know what I mean? That made my day. I look at some of these other boats that have been very successful at doing this type of fishing. The American Angler comes to mind. Uh, the Red Rooster comes to mind. Granted, they're long range boats, but they fish a multiple different species in one trip.
but
You know, I honestly would like to get to be able to do something like that to where the boat is running, 5 to 8 day trips. We're going to fish tuna one day. We're going to fish inshore the next day. We're going to fish offshore again the next day. We're going to fish inshore the next day. And it's still biting really good. We'll fish inshore again. Then we'll fish offshore. We'll go down the ridge or whatever it is we have planned for the trip. And to see them guys come back and unload their stuff. Oh, they've got reds, they've got cabria, they've got yellowtail, they got halibut, they got grouper, all kinds of stuff, man. And it's to me that's what it's about.
yeah, no, I mean those are the trips I used to enjoy 5, 6 days and fish Cedros and fish Bonitas and fish Guadalupe. And
Yeah,
if you caught a nice tuna when you're in Guadalupe, you were lucky, and if you didn't, you got some nice calico bass and yellowtail, and we'd run over to Cedros and fish the yellowtails and calicos,
right.
halibut drift on the beach. I mean, all that
It's
stuff
gonna
was
be fun. We have, as a matter of fact, October 21st, our first 7 day is going to be, I do believe. We will be doing I'm not even sure what I'm going to call it. I know what I'm going to call it, but Cedros Adventure. I don't know. Cedros is where we're going to be going. 25 anglers. We're going to have a group of pongas that will come out. Say if we leave on a Monday, We get there on Monday afternoon. We get to Cedros Monday afternoon, so we leave on a Saturday. We get to Cedros Monday afternoon at noon. We drop the anchor. Our 25 anglers get off the boat, go fish a half day, come back with their fish. We put all their fish away. That evening, they get their showers, get their dinner, they go to bed. They get up at 5 o'clock the next morning. They have their breakfast. We've got their lunches packed for the day. Pongas come back up. They get on the Pongas. They're gone from 6 to 4. They come back at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's day one, full one day. They come back at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We unload their fish. They then go in, relax, shower. Dinner served at 6:30. After dinner, they talk, laugh, whatever it is they're going to do. Then they go to bed. They get up at 5 o'clock the second day. They Pongas come up. They grab their lunches. They get on the Pongas. They go fish from 6 to 4. They come back the second day, and if fishing is really good at Cedros, we stay there. If it's not, we'll move over to Benitez. Drop the pick. Pongas come pick up the people. They go fish. The only reason why we would want to fish Benitez is if there's no yellowfin around Cedros. But that time of the year, I'm told there is. So we might not even have to make that 2.5 hour move to Cedros where everybody's sleeping. To Benitez where everybody's sleeping. We might just stay there. The third day, they get up. They go fish from 6 to 4. They bring all their fish back. And while they're sleeping, our deckhands are up preparing the fish that they caught the previous days, right? We're going to vacuum seal everything, put them in the freezer or back in the fish hold. They're good to go. The third day, they do the same thing. They get back. We pull the anchor. We'll drive 80 miles to the northeast. We're there by morning, and we'll fish cabria. We'll fish rockfish. We'll fish all kinds of other stuff. A half a day. Then we head home. Dude, trip of a lifetime. I think with you having to limit your weight and stuff on airplanes that fly to Cedros and stuff like that, it's going to be a benefit. It's roughly 22 hours, steaming from San Diego to Cedros. But I think it's worth it. I think it'll be fun. I do believe something's going to be posted here the 1st of August on H&M Landing's website about those trips. So if anybody's interested, stay
couple
tuned.
people are already asking can they get a link to sign up for that trip.
It will be posted to H&M Landing's website. I'm going to say August 1st.
Okay, guys,
And
you're here
the
first.
ticket price, the ticket price is going to be $36.75, and that's all inclusive except for the fish cleaning and beer.
So one of the guys is asking, I think I know the answer to this, but when they get off the Pongas and after dinner, they're not allowed to fish on the boat, right?
Negative.
Right.
They will kick us out of Cedros immediately.
Yeah. So once you guys are on the mothership, on the horizon, there won't be any fishing.
No, not at all.
That's why the Pongas are coming.
That's it.
Another question asked here is Jeff wants to know if you have any new merchandise, any new shirts or hats that you're offering this year.
I have hats and shirts. I don't believe I have any extra larges left. I do believe they are all double X and large. I hadn't placed an order this year yet because things have been so slow, and I probably won't this year. Sweatshirts, I have an assorted colors, and I do believe I have a few extra larges left. I have a lot of larges, mediums, and I have a few triple X's left as well.
So can they get that off your website, or do they have to be on the boat?
Uh, have him shoot me an email,
Okay.
and then I will get it to him.
Okay, guys. Well, so I'll share the email, Captain Bill's email address, and you guys can order there. And if you want to join us, and I hope you do want to join us for our trip with Captain Bill on the 25th, 2 weeks from today, and
Yeah,
we're going to be kelp patty fishing, like you heard him say. Here's the link right there.
look
Right.
forward to it, man.
Yeah, Jose, it's not Bonitos, it's Benitez, like you have it spelled there. So Cedros and Benitez are in the same bay, you could call it, and they're not that far apart, but there is a distance between them. So yes, it is Benitez Island and Cedros Island. Great fishing there. And if you guys think that the price is a little high, it really isn't when you consider a couple of things. If you do the fly-in trips, it's basically the same price. Maybe a tiny
Exactly.
maybe a tiny bit cheaper, but it's basically the same price. And the problem with the fly-in trip is you can only take 100 pounds with you. So that means all your clothing, your fishing tackle, whatever fish you bring back with you, you're only allowed 100 pounds on the plane. On this trip with Captain Bill, you can bring all the gear you want, fishing tackle wise. So you have everything you need: tuna fishing, fishing for on the pongas, all that. You're prepared for everything, and you can bring back all the fish you catch. You don't have to worry about you'll
Figure,
have limit, but
also, man, you figure, guys, a 7 day trip, even if you're fishing a long range boat, is going to cost you anywhere from $3,650 to $4,200. You know, I mean, and I think it's priced fair. I really do for what's included. I really do.
I guess I'm gonna get you Captain Bill's email address and post it here so you guys can see it.
Yeah, and if anybody else has any questions about the Cedros trips, shoot me an email. I have no problems discussing it.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be the first time ever done from a sport boat like this, uh, and it's neat that Captain Bill is going to be the guy to do it. And
It's going to
here,
be fun. I think it's going to be fun.
there is his stuff. Hey, Casey Olivas, thank you very much for your super chat donation.
You know, I got JRI on board, and he's talking about doing a charter type thing for that for those trips for one of those 7 days.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, man.
Okay, guys, so there's Captain Bill's email address again. Captain Bill at and then Malahini sport-fishing.com. So the email address is there. If you miss it there, you can always email me and I'll be glad to send it to you. And would love to see you guys all with me, with Captain Bill on the 25th in 2 weeks. Let's fill this trip up. Let's celebrate, have a good day fishing on the water
Oh
together
yeah,
with Captain Bill. Let's go chase those cow patties, get some yellowtail, and
exactly, dude.
who knows? We might even see Dorado by then. Uh,
Exactamundo.
one of my little cousins,
Dan, it's been a pleasure.
yeah, one of my little cousins is reaching out to say hi to you. Him and his dad, Casey and his dad, fished with you last time we were together on the Malahini. They live up
Hey, man.
in northern Cal, and they're just saying hi to you. But
Hello.
thank you very much. Everybody's saying hi, and they're all excited about the news you just shared with us. I'm glad you waited to share it here with us on
You're
YouTube
welcome.
Live. Greatly appreciate it. And
You're
I'm
welcome.
really, really looking forward to fishing with you on the 25th.
It's gonna be fun, Dan. I'm looking forward to it as well. You guys have a blessed evening.
All right. Thank you, Captain Bell.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.
All right. He's gone. So thanks, guys, for being here. That was a lot of fun. Sad to hear about his son. I didn't know about that. I thought I heard something, but I wasn't confirmed. But let's go out fish with them, pick up his spirits, have a good time with them. Let's have a good time. All right, guys. I've been on the water all day. I need a shower. I'm tired too. I'll be back at Catalina on Saturday doing a private charter on my boat. And next week I will be in Orlando for ICAST. I'm hoping I can do the YouTube live from there, but there's a chance that I won't be able to, that I'll have to be at an event on Thursday night. So if I'm on, I'm on. If I'm not, I'm not. But I won't know till then. So you guys, please think about signing up and joining us on the trip with Captain Bill. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'd love to see a lot of you guys on there. And I know Captain Bill would appreciate seeing us there and supporting him. It's been a slow season, it sounds like, for the landings, and he would love that. Yeah, Brian, we're going to be at the warehouse tomorrow doing the inventory. I know Brad's coming. I think Kevin might be there. Another guy, Michael's, going. So any of you that are free that want to come volunteer tomorrow at my office in Cerritos, we'll be doing that tomorrow at 10 a.m. All right. All right. Well, thank you all very much. Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you all soon. Good night, everybody. Thanks. Oh, Rob, when am I going back? When they invite me. I haven't been invited to go back on the Black Pearl. When they invite me, I would love to go back up there and fish with them out there out of them. Oh, not fish with them out of Morro Bay. That would be awesome. Had a great time fishing with them when they were down here. All right. Brian, you want to bring donuts? Sure, the guys will be there. Don't bring a lot of donuts. There'll only be about 4 of us there. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Bye.